Hello everyone watching this video. You're welcome. Yeah, so the last time we shown you how you can sign up for Eddyfast point of sale software. Now assuming your setup is done, Eddyfast has gone through the process and done the setup for you. Usually this can take up to 24-hour period, or sometimes it can be done instantly depending on certain factors. But finally, when it's sent to you, they can send the link to you via email, like you can see here, or you can send to you via WhatsApp, as you can see here. So the last time we signed up and we chose a subdomain called Eddyfast 1. So the same subdomain is used to create our system link. Now, if it is email, you just click on the link or you copy and paste in the browser, in a new tab. You get the login interface like this. If it is WhatsApp, you can do same. You can click on it, copy and paste. So once you get your login interface like this, you just log in with the same email address and then the password that you choose during the sign up. And if everything goes on well, you'll be welcomed with a screen, a dashboard like this. We call it a dashboard. Yes. So this is my system's dashboard or my system screen, welcome screen. Yes. So Eddyfast Consult. You are currently in KNUST branch. So the location that you select is taken as a branch. Anytime you create another branch, it will be added to this drop down so that you can switch between your branches. Yes. When you want to log out, you come here and log out. You want to view certain alerts, certain quick links. You can see them here. Now this part shows a quick information, or dashboard. So it shows a quick information as to the activities going on, especially with regards to sales. And then also we have some graphs down here. This one showing monthly sales performance, January, February, March, April. Depending on the month that we are currently in, the graph will plot up to that month. And then today's sales comparison. If you have multiple branches, it will do a side-by-side comparison of your sales. And then weekly comparison as well. The same applies to monthly comparison of your branches. Now, these ones are what we call the left menus. So anytime the staff of Eddyfast is supporting you, maybe on phone, online, whatever, and they refer to left menus, they are referring to these menus. These are the main menus on the left. And under each of them, we have sub-menus. So we have sub-menus under products. We have sub-menus under suppliers. We have same stock, point of sale, customers, reports, company setup, what have you. Sometimes additional menus are even given to you depending on the permission and the package that you are on. For example, if you are on the premium package, you can have the online store, backend, content management system. You can also have the accounting, advanced accounting, and then the HR modules. But those ones are not here. These ones describe the basic package of Eddyfast. Yeah, so let's get straight into it. This is just to introduce you to the interface, the welcome screen of Eddyfast POS. A very simple, straightforward, easy to use, user-friendly interface that a lot of people love so much. Alright, so we want to take them one after the other and do real demo of how we can input your products, purchase stock, record sales, manage customers, view reports, and the like. And the normal activity that you do in your shop, we are digitalizing it. Alright, so products. Under product, we have product categories. So, for example, you run a supermarket, or let's say you are into pharmaceutical products. You have a pharmacy shop. You can categorize your products So by default, the system creates one category for you called products. Of course, you can edit the name. You can change the name to what you want. You can also add additional categories. You can create your own category. You can put category under another category. But for now, let's just assume that we are running a pharmacy. So we just say pharmaceutical products. So we renamed our category into pharmaceutical products. Now we want to add additional. You can create all of them as parents independent of each other. We can put some under others. For example, let's just say instead of pharmacy, let's just say author products. So let's spell check. Authors products. And let's create another one called Heba products. Heba products. Let's say cosmetics. Yeah. Let's see if we maintain these three categories. In fact, some also decide to leave just one category called pharmaceutical products and they create all their products under it without stressing themselves. But of course, if you are the type who wants to really organize your products into various categories, such that you want to, at a point, to generate all reports or all products under Autodesk or Heba or cosmetics, you are free to do that at this part of the system called product category menu. Now, when you finish, the next menu is where you create your actual product, the product that do not exist in the system already. So remember, because you created three categories, they will be here. So when you are creating your product, you put the product under its category. Now, product code can be skipped. But of course, if you deal with barcode, you put a cursor here, then you scan, then the barcode will be captured, then you save alongside the product so that you can also search with the barcode when you are selling. Before supplier campaign, you can skip it. The reason is that there is a supplier management menu where anytime you are purchasing, you create or you choose the supplier. So when you are creating the product, you can leave it. However, you can create the suppliers in advance and then select them. Of course, you can have a major supplier of a particular product. Though not all the time that you get some from that supplier, but of course you want to link a product to a supplier, then you can create the suppliers and select them here. But you can skip. It's not a required field. The required fields are the ones that are showing with red asterisks. Alright, so let's give a name. Let's create just a dummy product. So let's just say, okay, let's just choose a Heba product and say Tabia, for example. But for the pharmaceutical, they usually want to add the strengths, the certain parameters to differentiate two or more products like milligrams, the liters, and all that. You can add them. But let's just say Tabia. And then the system expects you to save the product before you take stock. So at this point, the quantity side is blocked. You skip and enter your unit cost. Let's just take any price at all. This is the unit cost price. So let's say, for example, you sell the Tabia at 10 cedis. I'm just giving an example, a random figure. Yes, so 10 cedis. You could use a markup to determine the selling price. Let's say your markup is set at 1.3, that is 30%. The moment you say 30%, you enter 1.3, the system will generate the selling price. It will also show you the profit margin. Or let's say I don't know any markup. All I know is that I sell my product at, let's say, the cost price is 10 cedis, so 13 cedis. The moment you enter the 13 cedis, the system will generate the markup for you. And if you change it to 15 cities, for example, 15 cities, the system will show you a backup of 1.5. It means it's a 50% margin that you have put on. But usually that is quite too high. So let's just maintain the 13. I'm not saying this is the price of Tabia, it's just an example. Alright. Now you can save at this point by clicking here, or you can add stuff. For example, product description, especially when you want your product to show your online store. Then you can add product description, you can add unit of measure, you can add a minimum reorder level here, the level of stock that you want it to alert you when it gets to. You can indicate the shelf location, the batch number, the expiry dates, with just a selection. It's a calendar you just select. And then also, after selecting the expiry date, you can tell the number of days that it should alert you when it's about to expire. These are all optional settings that you can set for a product. Now there is green bar down here. Add new package type for this item if applicable. That is if you sell in unit and other packages. For example, if it's a wholesale, sometimes you have a wholesale and retail that is blend. Blend in the sense that you don't dedicate specific product for the wholesale and specific for the retail. What you do is that um, when the customer determines whether they are buying the wholesale. So let's say you have wholesale prices. For example, you have boxes. For the Tabia, you sell some in boxes. Let's say you distribute to some retail shops. And then someone will also come and buy one bottle. So you could indicate that you have other types. Type 1, that is one package type. Then you indicate, instead of carton, the default is carton. You just say box. And then the system will ask you capacity. How many of the bottles? So in this case, we can see here is bottle, a bottle like this, or cup, whatever. Yeah. So bottle. Now down here, you say a box. A box is made up of, let's say, 12, for example, 12 of the units or the bottles. And then how much do you sell the whole box? So let me make it 10 here so that the calculation can be easily done. So let's say the whole box is we bought it at 10 cedis, so 100 cedis because it's 10 in the box. But of course, the selling price, if the person is buying one and you sell it at 13, you wouldn't want to give the box to someone who is buying the whole box 130. You want to give a marginal discount, let's say 120, for example, so that it will encourage people to buy the boxes. So in this case, you can save this. So it's going to save the unit cost, the bottle price, and then the box price. Then you save it. So now you say saving was successful. When you go to product list, you will see tab here quantity 0 if not capture the quantity yet. But the unit costs for the bottle is 10, but the box is 100. So when you are selling two, you sell one at 13, so that at the end of the day, when you sell all the 10, you get 130. But if someone is buying all of them once, the whole box, you sell like at 120. So that's how. But the box option or the other package type option, people don't usually use it because there's also another way of handling it, which when you contact Eddyfast, we can educate you on. Because this one sometimes is quite complex for some people, but the system it handles it perfectly. Alright, so let's create another product so that we can sell. Let's say let's say Autolus product, one of them, one of the pharmaceutical product. So oh, okay. Usually add the strength can be I don't know, I'm just putting some figures. MG. It's a tab. So you can see tab. You can add a tab here, or you can also indicate the tab at the unit of measure side. Then this one, let's say just one tab, we select at 1 cedi, and then because of our markup is 1.3, for example. Sometimes you can have different markups for different products actually. Yeah, so let's assume this one we don't have packages, whatever. We say even if the person is buying a pack, we will calculate the tab and then give it as a pack. So we are not creating the tab, the pack, yes. So you can choose expiry dates and what have you. But we are just saving the basic information. So we save this product. Yeah, it tells us saving was successful. Now we have two products. Paracetamol, the products are dummy. They are not actual products. We are just using it for demo purposes. Alright. So now that we have created our products, let's purchase some from a supplier. So remember, when you are creating the product, once you have saved it like this, you can go and then manually add a quantity. If you don't want to pass through the supplier purchase order side, you can come and say, let me add, let me say 50. I have 50. The moment you add 50, it adds to the available quantity. Then it asks you why you are manually changing the quantity, of course, for auditing purposes. But the moment you delete it, it goes back to the zero. So I didn't save it actually. You can do same for the others. So let's rather go to supplier. I don't have any supplier in our supplier list, as you can see. No supplier, no record found. Okay. So new purchase order. You don't have to necessarily create your suppliers, but rather you can create a purchase order, and in the process of creating the purchase, you create a supplier. So this is what I mean. The same applies to products. Let's assume that I'm creating a purchase order, and I'm searching for a product like and I search and I realize it doesn't exist. I can come to add or create new products. It gives me the interface to create a new product, the add new product interface. Yes, for me to go through that process of creating, so that I don't have to leave the supplier or purchase order interface to go to product side, create it, and come back and continue. Once I create the 11, let me demonstrate. So 2, for example, unit cost price always dummy. So let's just say 2 cedis, and then we select our 3 cedis. So I'm just creating it because I'm creating a purchase order. I need that product to add. Maybe the invoice that the supplier submitted has level 2, but I don't have it in my system. That's what I mean. Then you save it. The moment you save it, you don't leave. Yes. So I didn't go to add new products. I am at new purchase order. So the level 2 I just created has come here for me to order. So I click on order. Level 2 didn't exist. I click on order. Then it moves 1 to the right. Yeah, so it suggests the quantity, which is 1 for me, cost price of 2, total cost price of this. Now at this point, I can click on these 3 dots, or we can configure the system to make it pop up automatically, where you can set more information about the product when you are buying. So now let's say level 2, I don't need just 1. I need about 50. Yeah, 50. So it means that the total cost, because 1 is 2 cedis, it will cost me 100 cedis because I'm buying 2. Now, at this point, if you want to change your selling price to affect it in the system, you can do so. But let's say the only thing I'm changing is the quantity. If the only thing we are changing the quantity, then you don't need to come to this interface. So let me save it. Yes, what I mean is that the moment you click on order and it goes to the right, you could change the quantity here. But let's say you have a lot of information to change, like the selling price, the expiry date, the shelf location, batch numbers, and all that. Then you can use this 3 dots. Or you can even make us configure the system whereby the moment you click on order, then all those information, that interface will come. Yes. So once we are done, the system goes back to where we search for the products. Then let's search for the ones that we created earlier. For example, para. Okay, just type para and press enter. Because para has been created already, it will come for us to order. Remember, it brings the cost price, not the selling price, because we are buying from a supplier, so it suggests the cost price. Of course, it doesn't mean anytime you are buying from any supplier, you get it at one city. That is why it suggests, it's a suggestion. It brings the cost price that you create, you indicated when you're creating the product. But of course, you can change it here. Then if you change it, you could ask the system to update the price. So let's say the para we bought only 10. And then let's look at the last product. Or it could even be only these two products. But let's just search to make sure it's there. It was Tabia. T-A-A-B. Tabia bottle. Now remember, Tabia is the one we created first. So if, let's say, instead of the bottle, remember that when we were creating the Tabia, we created another package type for box. Now you said the bottle is 10 cedis. But if we want the whole box, you click on the other type, and the system switches to box and brings the box price. So at this point, I can what? I can order the whole box to be part of this invoice. Yes. And then let's say I want more boxes. Let's say 5 boxes instead of me to do 50, how do you call it, 50 bottles. I'm ordering 5 boxes, which is equivalent to 50 bottles because 10 bottles make 1 box. So that is also a way. Now at this point, I can preview my purchase order to see. So the system will create more like an invoice, but it's actually a purchase order. The supplier will actually give you an invoice. So you can create this and instantly receive all those products into your stock. Or you can create the purchase order in advance, print it, and send it along with you to the supplier for purchase. It will become like a guide. Or you can create it, send it in advance to your supplier for them to determine which ones they have and which ones they don't have. Later, when they come, or you get feedback from them. So let's say we leave this page, we just reset the whole system, come to home, dashboard, or we log in later and come. When you come, you go and track that purchase order. You go to suppliers, you come to purchase order list, so that the first purchase order we created on these dates, we can go to edit and continue, or can receive the stock. Remember, we didn't choose the supplier. Guess what? This interface, when you're creating the purchase order, you have the liberty to choose existing supplier or create a new one. So if you are choosing, you drop it down and all of them will come. But now there's no supplier. You can say add new record and say maybe best aid chemist. Yes, I'm saying best aid chemist is because it's one of our clients using the software. Yes, so link purchase order to the supplier. So I'm buying from best aid chemist. Just an example. So you see the supplier's name will be on top of the page like this. Now anytime you preview the purchase order, this time around you will see the supplier's name on the purchase order. Yes. Now, and anytime you come to purchase order list, you will see their name also here. Yes. Now, if you are not changing anything, let's say all the things that you say you wanted, the Tabia box, paracetamol, you can live on to, the quantities and the price and everything, you are not changing anything. You can go straight to receive stock and receive them into your stock. But if you need to change something, you can come here. So receive stock. At this point, the status is set to pending. So the purchase order is pending. You have not received it into your stock. So let's quickly go to receive stock. This is an interface to receive your stock. Receive stock from supplier to your business. You have created the purchase order already. These are the products in it and all that. Remember, when you are editing, When you go to edit, from that edit interface, you can come to the receive stock using this button here, receive stock. So if there's anything you need to change and you want to go back to the edit, you don't have to come to the left menu. You can come to the edit purchase order interface and quickly switch between the editing and then receiving of the stock. So receive. Yes. So here the cost prices we set are here, the selling prices are here, so the markups are also here. Now destination. In this case, you can send to a different branch. But here, let's talk about just one branch, creating purchase order, and then the quantity that you are receiving. We ordered for 5, we are receiving all the 5. We ordered for 10, this one, we are receiving all the 10. 50, all the 50. And this time you can indicate, let's say the 10, we only received, let's say 6. We didn't receive all the, so let's save this one. So it tells us that when you put it on it, it's a quantity to be moved. Yes, we are going to move 6 to our store because that's what we received. But actually, we ordered for 10. So that the system will show you that there are more to be received for that product from the supplier. But before you even move on, you see the day that you received, you can indicate it. The reason is that it's not the day that you create a purchase order or the day that you ordered that you receive your stock. Sometimes it can take some days, some weeks, and all that. So you can indicate the date that you received actually. And also the purchase order number, invoice number from the supplier. Remember, the supplier will give you an invoice. And this one you are creating from your system, which is the purchase order number 1. Now, if the supplier gives you an invoice that is 1001, for example, you enter it here, then that purchase order or that invoice number will be appended to your purchase order so that it will become a cross-reference. Now, anytime you take your purchase order number 1, it corresponds to the supplier's invoice number 1001 for referencing sake. So now, if you preview your purchase order, it will always be there 101/1001. That is purchase order number / invoice number. So take note of that as well. Now, at this point, you can receive our stock, all our products into our stock in bulk by using this button, move all to receive stock. Or if anytime your interface comes like this, you see the move has come below the rows. You can adjust your screen. If you're using Google Chrome, you can press Control and minus together as a shortcut to reduce the screen a bit. And then the move will be on the same row. This is how it's supposed to be actually. If it becomes too big, it descends down. But now for each of them, you can move it one by one. But usually, you wouldn't want to go through the pain of moving your product one by one. Let's say you have about 50 or 100 products in one invoice or one purchase. You want to move all of them. So now let's move it. Move all to receive stock. Okay, so move. It tells you, are you sure you want to receive all the details of this purchase order into your stock? Note this action cannot be reversed. So that when you're doing, you'll be careful. But of course, we have advanced. So now when you move accidentally, you can reverse it. But still be cautious and make sure you verified everything before you move. So you click on OK, and then the system will process for a while until you completed all specified stock of items in this purchase order have been moved to Eddyfast 1 successfully. Eddyfast 1 because you moved it to this same branch. You can move it to another branch. Now remember, let's view it again. This one we ordered 5, all of them are gone, so it's left with 0. 50, all of them gone. But remember, this one we said we ordered 10, but we removed 6. So how many? 4 is remaining. So anytime the supplier brings it, so when you come to the purchase order list here, the status has changed to partially received because there are still some products to be received. Okay. So now let's look at what is happening actually at the product list side. Now the product list is going to tell us yes. So now level 2, 50 have been received. Paracetamol 6 have been received. Caviar 5 boxes received, corresponding to 50 bottles. Okay, yes. Now let's still receive the remaining, the remaining 4. So in that case, you can come here, you can come to the purchase order, and then you come to receive stock. You can still use the bulk one so that the one that are 0 will not be received, and the one that have not been received will be received. But now we are being specific, so let's just use the direct one and move against the para. We move 6 now. For whatever reason, maybe another time you can even set the date. Another time they brought the 6. Sorry, they brought the 4. So you can go to move and say, are you sure you want to move 4 units of para UK to Eddyfast 1? Okay. Then now everything is moving, is received, so we have 0 remaining for all. When you come to the purchase order and inspect its status, it has changed to fully received. So there's no pending product to be received from the supplier. They have supplied everything. Now, the same way when you come to product list, you will see that para is now 10. Yes. Now, as we are doing all these activities, there is a part of the system that is recording every detail. When you created a product, to when you received, to when you sold. You could come here to see them. See, this is stock history, changes that are made to the stock. So you can see para UK, that's the last thing we did. We moved 4. The 4 that we just moved, it made available became 10. And then the cost and the selling price are here, the date, the person who logged in and did it. And then received from what? Best Aid Chemist. So all these details. Look down here. You see that when we created them, every product that you create a record, the history telling you that you created it, and then the details of who did it and the time and everything. So you can audit it as such. Without you coming to the stock history, you can add a product list, you can still see this information. All you do is that you click on the product name. So when you put it on, it said click to view stock history. So when you click on level 2, you ask yourself, how come we have 50? Okay, so first on this date and at this time, we created level 2. Then the next thing on this date at this time, this person will say receive 50 from Best Aid Chemist. So it keeps building the history so that you know where the stock passed. The same applies to para. Para will have more records because we splitted the receiving. Yeah, so at one point we received 6, and then at another point we received 4. So now in all we still have 10. Yes. So this one has 3 records after we create 2 records after we created it. Alright. Now let's look at the tab. Tab also has 50. Normally it deals with the unit more. So we receive from this. Alright. Now that we have been able to create our products, we have been able to buy some from our suppliers and move them to our stock, the next thing, it paves way for us to sell. Now it takes us to the point of sale. Point of sale. Now point of sale. Point of sale button or the menu is here. Under that you have sell items, sales and invoices, end of day. There are more which we will show later. Depending on the permission, we have pending payments, we have completed transactions and all that. They are all there. But then for now, these are the basic ones. Sell item. Let's say you are selling. Before we even go to sell item, let's go to sales and invoices. You see there is no record. End of day, there is no record. Now let's go to sell. Now when you are selling, it's similar to when you are purchasing. So if you know more of the purchasing, you can sell. Para comes. I can use the keyboard and tab to highlight the first record. If there are more, I keep tabbing to highlight the one that I want. And if this is what I want, I just press enter. The moment I press enter, it moves one to the right. It moves one to the right. It reduces the 10 to 9 in real time. So if I'm to change the 1 to 2, let's say the person is buying 2, I change it to 2 and press enter. It computes the 2 for me. 1 is 1.3, so it means that the person is buying 2.6. Then it reduces the quantity to 8 from 10. I can, now I'm done with para. I can come to what? Come to 11. Okay, so 11 to, you see, if you are using the mouse, you click on the cell. But if you're using the keyboard, from here, when the results come, you tab it. If there are more, keep tabbing. And then you select. It will highlight clearly the one that you want to select. Then you just press enter. It will push the old one I moved to the right down. Then it brings the new one. The level will come on top, so that I don't need to be scrolling to look for the last one I added down. No, always push the old one. Now it highlights the quantity. By default, you put one there and highlight it so that I can change it. Let's say out of the 50, I sold out 10 at a go. Press enter. Gives me, it recalculates and gives me 30. 30 plus 2.6 is 32.6. Then it jumps. It doesn't know how I'm done, so it keeps jumping to where I can search for the new product in a loop form. You search, you click on sell, or you tap, you press enter, it moves, you adjust the quantity, you press enter, it jumps here, you search, so you become very fast at the point of sale side. When you are done, let's assume this is the only, or these are the only two products that the customer is buying. Now, I didn't choose a customer because I assume it's a retail, just a walk-in customer. But of course, if it's a wholesale and you want to choose a customer, you click on choose customer. You can even set it so that it forces you to choose the customer first before you start. Yes, all these are settings that we can do for you. So you come to add new record, you put the customer's information. If it's a wholesale, we will set it so that the company name will be mandatory. Then you can put the first name and other things. Yes, but it's a retail, just move straight and then we sell. Now, once it tells you the total, let's say this is what the person is buying, the balance remaining is here, amount ended. So how much did he give you? The money. This is where you receive the payment. Is it by cash? Is it by Momo? Is it by check? All those payment methods are here. You can even add more. Now, how much did he give you? His cost or his bill is 32.6. Let's say he gave you 50 cedis notes. Instantly, the moment you enter, the system shows you a change of 17.4. If you press enter, it completes the transaction. Then we are done. Or here you can't enter less than the 32. Let's say 30. It gives you 30. You want to enter. It tells you amount entered can not be less than balance remaining. But if for whatever reason you accept part payment, there is a special interface for part payment. When you click on pay in installment, it gives you an interface to select to pay parts where it will accept. But then for retail, usually you just take all. So for you to be fast, the moment you enter the full amount here, it should be the same or more than the bill. So if it's this, just press enter. It will record the payment and automatically pop up a receipt. So this is a receipt that has popped up with all the information on it nicely. 10 of the 11, 2, 1 cost 3. So it's 30. 2 of the para, 1 cost 1.2, so it's 20. So all those things, he gave you 50 cedis, you gave him a change of 17. There is no balance, so he's paid. All that. Authorized signature, blah blah blah. This can be configured to print through the receipt printer. Those small receipt printers that uses roll paper. Yes. You can also use normal A4. Depending on your printer, you just configure it to suit it, and then you are good to go. So you can issue a receipt. If you don't want to print, you just close the receipts. Automatically, the system resets to a new interface to save another customer. So you don't have to now go and click on sell item. So now you can just go on and then search for something else for someone. So that previous transaction is closed, completed. Now where you can locate it is when you come to end of day, you will see that yes, it has started creating some records here. The 1, 2, blah blah blah. That sales details are all here. Amount, discount 0, amount payable, blah blah blah, and all that. And then sales / invoices also give you details. The difference is that this one, the end of day shows you only transaction for today. But sales and invoices will bring you all transactions. That's why you have the next thousands of transactions, where you can even search for older sales and invoices. Yes. So this is a quick way of introducing you to the sales. Anytime you refresh, now let me refresh the system. Let me go back. Let's say I'm leaving. The moment I refresh, because I've made sales worth 32 cedis, you see, I made that sales. I they paid or there's no balance. The balance here is here purposely for the wholesale. Sometimes some will come, you raise invoices, they don't pay all, then later they will come and pay. So it will show you how much have been paid and how much is remaining. But for the retail, usually you have the sales being the same as the payment, the zero balance. The gross profit also per what have been sold, the cost price, the selling price minus the cost price will give you the gross profit. So that's what it's calculating for you. So as you are selling, you are visualizing your gross. We say it's gross because we know there are other cost components that you need to supply, like transportation and other things. So it's still gross. Now, not just that, the month that the sales happen, you start plotting graph for it. So now this is the sale, this is the profit, this is the payment, there's the balance it will come and all that. That's for the today to compare all your branches. That's for this week. That's for this month. So this is a quick overview of how sales are done. Remember, you click on sell item, and the interface comes. If you want to choose a customer, you can choose it first before you even. When you finish filling this form, you click on link invoice to this customer. Then the customer's name will come on top, just like the supplier side we did. And then this one, there's a special screen for those who use touch screen, especially supermarkets. Let me show you how that one is. So that one will list all the products in a categorized form. So hereby we have one. When you click on it, it shows you tab here. So you can use your finger to tab it actually. When you click on tab here, so come down here, you can increase the quantity. As you are increasing, the total is also increasing. So for quick sales at the counter, if you no longer sell it, you uncheck it, it goes back. When you click, it comes. And then the amount, the quantity, everything is here. You increase it. You can come to orthodox product. You have level 2. You just tap on it. Para, you tap on it. Then if it is para, you can increase the quantity. You can't go below 0. You can below 1. You can go, but you can increase it. As you are increasing, it's also increasing the total. You can check this one to just narrow down to what happens. Once you are done, you say save and confirm. Then it will create the sales. So you do everything here before you save and confirm. When you click, are you sure you want to add all the selected item to this sales or invoice? No, this action cannot be. So let me just stop it. Yeah, so that's also there. You can also search actually. As you are searching, it's coming. Level 1, then it's coming. And then what again? The other one, tab, yeah. So you can also search. This special interface for, but you can choose to click on it or not, depending on what you want your needs are. And remember, there are a lot of customization you can do. Even here, we said when you type tab here, you have to press enter. You yourself can set that you don't have to press enter. You see, search while typing, we have switched it to no. The reason is that if there are thousands of products and you switch it to yes, and you are searching for tab here and you type T, the system will, as you leave your hand before you type the E, the system will go through the entire database and trying to bring all products that contains T. There are hundreds of them. It doesn't even finish, then you add it A, B, and all that. So activities going on behind the scenes are so many that it slows down the system, especially when it's online like this, web-based like this. So when you are online, we switch the search algorithm to such that you type a keyword, then you press enter. That one is after when you press enter that it goes to search based on the keyword, and that one is faster. When I press on tab, I type tab and press on enter, I just got the results. Okay. So if there are few products, we will advise that you can go for the other algorithm where as you are typing is coming. So all these have been thought through. So we'll end here for today's session of the video. Thank you very much for watching. We hope it helps. Thank you. Bye.